Everybody, I've got a couple minutes before I got to take off on the road.
Okay,
And say hi.
so I guess we better get started. It's 12:02 Mountain Time. And so I am actually filling in for Megan today. I am a Chief AI Officer and a certified score mentor. And I am going to be being your host today. And we're going to be introducing Tyrese in just a couple of minutes. But first of all, wanted to welcome everyone. We are live streaming right now. So welcome. This is an open forum right now. And what I want to do is I want to show you what our platform looks like. So if anyone is on the streaming call and they want to get more familiar with what our group is all about, I'm going to share my screen. And can everyone see our platform right now?
Yep.
Okay, great, great. So if you go into chiefaiofficer.com, you'll see that we have a really great platform. And on the left-hand column, we have quite a robust site. We have everything from our event schedule down to our challenges, which we'll get into just in a little bit. We have events that we schedule every single day of the week. We also have podcasts. We have the VIP Video Vault. We have our certification program down here under CAI certification program. We have quite a bit of things in here. And everyone has the opportunity to be part of this platform with the 14-day free trial. And then if you decide that you want to become a part of our group, then you can have that opportunity. So on the platform here, I'm just going to breeze over this very quickly. Every week we have calls. Every Monday, today you are on what's called the AI Tool Challenge. And we are going to have Tyrese. She's going to be going over Smart Cut with us today. And that's on Ideogram. And then I'm really excited to hear about that. And then every Monday, I'm in Mountain Time. I'm in Arizona. And so every Monday at 4 o'clock, we have Kristen Purdue. I would open up these windows, but my computer is just a little bit slow, so it's not opening up these links. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. So every week we have our under this event schedule tab on Mondays at 4 o'clock Mountain Time. We have what's called the governance call, where we have Christy Purdue, and she goes over compliance issues and a lot of things that we probably don't think about when we're actually working in AI tools. So that's a really great call, and that's for our insiders. And then every Tuesday, we have our prompting call, and that's with Segovia. And we have a really fantastic tool, and it's down here, and it's called Prompt Vault. And that is in the resources tab. We have the Prompt Vault Studio, and that's a really fantastic tool where you'll really be able to put your prompting on steroids. And then every Wednesday, we have a coaching call with Wayne Clayton, and he's our business strategist. So anything that you want to learn about business strategy, about really building your pipeline, he's going to be starting a fantastic series this week, and he's going to help us actually build a website. So this is part of what we get as part of being an AI insider. And then every Thursday, we have what I would consider a little more of an advanced call, and that's with Chris Lannon. And he goes over automation. So he goes over tools and really how to leverage all of the tools that you've learned and actually automate them. So that's a really fantastic tool. And then every Friday, we have Lee, and I always get the pronunciation of his last name, so I'm not even going to try. But Lee is our one of our chief AIs, and he's also our marketing officer. And he kind of brings everything together at the end of every week. He ties everything together, and then he gives us updates on news, what's happening in AI. He just brings everything together so that if we missed any calls during the week, we can go back and review them. So that's a really fantastic tool as well. And that's open to everyone. And that's also live streaming. So that kind of sums everything up for the week. And then real quickly, we have our smart cut. This is the smart cut that you're going to be going over, Tyrese, today?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so this is the smart cut that Tyrese is going to be going over. And I've got a few links that I will provide in the chat. But if you'd like to get started, I can stop my screen share, Tyrese, and you can jump in.
Okay,
Does that
wonderful.
work?
Yep. Let's see. I guess, yeah. All right. I believe you can see my screen.
Yes.
I'm going to move all my bars and things out of the way. Okay, so here we are with ideogram. Now, ideogram, if you're not familiar, is a image generation program. The image generation programs tend to be, well, from really good to really bad. So depending on which one you're working with, you're going to think that ideogram is either good or bad. And so hopefully we will try to get you to understand how images are created so that you can actually get a better image. Okay, now what I'm going to start with here is that when we are setting up our accounts in ideogram, let's do this live. Oh, first of all, let's go to the prompt vault. This is where we're going to be talking about how we're going to have the actual prompt put in to ideogram. So when we are actually looking at, did I just, okay. And when we're actually looking at how to prepare our images, we want to know what the different elements will be. So that's another part of the presentation today. So now I'm going to go back to the actual PDF here so I don't confuse everybody, but and I'm a little bit nervous, so forgive me. All right, so setting up the baseline. So we're going to get into the account. We're going to sign up for the account. We're going to go in and we're basically going to see if we can brainstorm an image. Then we're going to prepare the context and then access the ideogram. All right, so here is the prompt that I was just showing you in the prompt vault. Now, here's how you would actually use this particular prompt. Anything that's in pink, you will replace with the subject. So here we're having act like a world-class prompt engineer and an AI graphic designer, and I need you to generate a prompt that I can use on ideogram to generate a photo about. So that's the subject. And then the atmosphere should feel, and then you can fill in whatever you really want. And then the subject should be sitting. Where are they? What are they doing? How are they behaving? What is around them? All these different things go into this particular prompt. So that really what you're doing is you're giving context to the AI so that it knows what it is you want. If you don't give context to an AI, then it's just going to guess. And once it starts guessing, then you're going to have issues. Now, I had created a PowerPoint presentation here, and I'm going to show you as well. When you have a bad prompt, it looks like this. You got a woman in an office wearing a suit, background is futuristic. It's not telling AI anything, right? So what we've got here on the right-hand side of the screen is a better prompt, where you're actually going to describe in great detail what she's wearing, where she's sitting, what she's doing, all the things that are around her in the room, all that stuff, because it matters. And so if you don't get a good image, you can always change it by adding to the prompt. Okay. Now, going back to the PDF here. Now, when you open the GPT in your web browser and you're going to copy and paste this in with the pink parts filled out that you got from here. So here you're going to just fill everything in, and then when you run the prompt, it goes straight to ChatGPT. So I'm just going to skip that bit for a minute because we already have the answer right here on the screen. And it says, certainly, here's detailed prompt you can use in ideogram. So then you would just take this part right here and copy and paste it into ideogram. Now, I'm going now to access ideogram. We're going to, now I'm already a pro member of Ideogram. I don't have the free version. I have the paid version, which gives me a bit more flexibility in terms of how to take little details and change things. So, for example, these 4 pictures all look the same, right? But they're not the same. If you take a closer look, the girl's hat is different in each one. And I wanted to show you just how detailed you can get in terms of what you want changed in an image. So this was done by simply masking the part that you want changed, and then adding another prompt to the main prompt, and then going but that's too advanced for you guys, so I digress. Okay, so let's move on. So enter your prompt. So we're going to take this that you filled out here, and this was to run the prompt that would be in your ChatGPT, right?
Doris?
Yes.
Yes, a very quick question. Was the smart cut built to kind of match the so this area here, was that kind of created to match the ideogram, meaning to say, as you have these parameters, were these parameters aligned with the ideogram, or were they coming
No,
from?
you can use this in any image generator.
Okay. So
Okay,
these are kind of like from I guess a bigger, broader perspective. If you're doing anything imaging, these would be the sorts of things that we want to kind of think about all the time.
that's correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
That's correct. And so, okay, so we were going into ideogram. Okay, so here's where you would, once you're signed in, here's where you would copy and paste your image. Now, I'm just gonna take this simple one here and show you the difference, because it'd be easier to just do that. And paste. And then if you didn't absolutely, now when you get in here and you're putting, you can edit this part, and you can add any kind of detail that you want, all that kind of stuff. Now here is where you can change the the sizing, the visibility, and now when it's free, I believe it's always going to be public. If it's paid, then you can choose private or not. And then the model also can be chosen if you are in the paid version. So I'm just going to go with a 1, since that would be part of the free version. And then you can actually show how you want your image to come back to you. So now we're just going to keep this very simple and generate. So it's going to give us 4 images based on this simple prompt that we just put in right now. And you'll see that there'll be a big difference in when we're adding detail, how different it actually will be. So if we look here, there's no color that we've added. There's no, we even have just a gray one. We don't have anything really this may not have anything to do with our company or the brand that we are trying to portray. So now if I go back to this prompt that I created, which was the longer one, which has a lot of detail in it, let's see how different that looks. Okay. See, so now we have the detailed digital illustration. So now we're stating what kind of photograph we want. What is she doing? Where is she? How does she look? What is she wearing? What color of the suit that she's wearing. We're adding a lot of detail here that will make sense to the clients that we are serving. If there's a way for you to have your brand and your avatar clearly defined when you're doing the brainstorming, that is the key to everything. Because if the chat knows what it is, that who your audience is, it will then create it accordingly, if that makes sense. But I'll get more into that later. Now, see, she's very different. Now here we've said what we want her to wear and her hair, and so now we can take this and we can make it as tweaked as we want. We want to make sure that her hands are not 6 or have more in them than there should be, that kind of thing. So she looks pretty good. Now the next thing that we would want to, okay, well, we already went past this. So let's see, ideogram, da 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 da. All right, then we can save and we can download. So if we wanted to pick one of these, let's pick her. We can take her and then we can actually save her. Where did we go here? Here we are. And now you can choose PNG or JPEG, whichever one you want. And you can also use a link if you wanted to share this particular picture. So you don't always have to download it. You can also just take the link and then share that if you wanted to. This way, you can have a whole series if you wanted to without taking up memory on your computer, if that was a worry. All right. Now, going back to our PDF. Okay, so we've gone through where we're going to download. All right, now now in my PowerPoint, what I did is I created another set of prompt examples where, let's say now you have a sale going on at an appliance store. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing where we're going to just give this a basic, we can just take this out and replace it. And we're just going to give it a basic prompt to see what that looks like. So that we can then see the difference between the plain and then the detailed prompt. If anybody has questions while we're going, please jump on in.
I have a
Curtis?
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Curtis, you have a question for me?
No, I didn't want to interrupt your flow last time I did that. So there's a few things that come to mind, which has always slowed me down with imaging in broad terms. A couple things. One is I noticed you were in gamma before,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm not sure where that came into the picture and the
Oh,
way I've
this is
just.
where my presentation lives. That's all. It's my slide deck.
Oh, so it's
No
in gamma.
PowerPoint, I'm
Okay.
using Gamma. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. So then the other part is,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things with a lot of this is if you're not a photographer or you're not really familiar with multimedia in,
Mm-hmm.
terms, you don't really know what it means to have these different attributes to, the size and such, but you also don't know um, what to make out of the imagery. So in other words, I think some of the things that I think sometimes are, to me, a little oversimplified is to be able to start to get acquainted with what to put in these prompts where you make them richer, you make them more real. And then one of the things I often see a little bit too often is the imagery. It's so uh, AI-like. It doesn't really strike me like the pictures of those women. I find it always
Oh
curious
yeah,
that
that's right.
women are made
Yeah,
to
okay.
like these sex objects, like and probably men as well, to the point where you're like, oh my God, I want that robot. I mean, it's like this. So I guess what I'm getting at is where you might be going to try to kind of first get your head around,
Mm-hmm.
the different sizes, 110. I don't really even know what those mean, short of actually playing with it. And then secondarily is where you're getting your thoughts for how to create something that I don't know, a little more real and not looking so AI-like.
Right. Okay, so here, let's see. Now here's where, okay, now let's take this picture. This is ridiculous. I mean, this is a run on a sale, and of course the text is all out of whack as well. And so the see now here's the more detailed prompt. Now, when you're actually thinking about a prompt, Curtis, here's what I would suggest. It's not so much that you get into what the details should be as much as what is it that's going to resonate with your avatar. So if you have a client profile that you've already created with all the likes, the dislikes, the pain points, what they're passionate about, what colors they like, all these different things come into play. So what I usually do is I actually reverse engineer. If I have a post already that I want to create for social media, for example, I take that post, I put that into ChatGPT, and here I'm going to show you just a little trick. So if you go into ChatGPT and you go into projects, now, whoops, I missed. Here we go. So if you click on, here's the projects. Now you have access to projects if you have a paid version, which is the $20 version, not the $200 version, but the $20 version. You can click on projects, and in here we can say, let's just make it a test. And here is where I can add all the information regarding my ideal client, my branding, anything to do with my company, any context that you can give. The AI can go into this folder. Once it's in this folder, now if I had added this one single sentence in there, it would actually, and I said to it that I wanted a more detailed prompt that would resonate with my clients. It knows the context to which it's pulling from. And then you can create a really nice image without you having to really think about the rule of thirds, for example, in photography, or whether or not the image is going to resonate or not with your client. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't catch where you said you added those instructions. Did you add it on instructions, or are you just saying you could put it in a file?
You can add it in here under projects.
Okay.
So when like for example, you have a branding book that you've created for your company, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With your
Okay.
colors and what your ideal client looks like. And when I say ideal client, I mean, we really want to get down to the minutia of Susie is 30 years old. She likes golfing.
Mm.
She likes swimming. She goes shopping. She she doesn't like going to bars. You want it to be a very detailed client avatar. And when you have that, then you can move away from really having to do all the details. But when you don't have the details, that's when you can use a prompt like this one in the Prompt Vault Studio, where it guides you through to get you to think about how this prompt should look if you didn't have a client avatar. How does that sound?
Just looking for the Staples easy button to push, though. You didn't show us that one yet.
The state. Well, unfortunately, the thing with actually creating images is that the image is as vastly different in our heads as is anyone else's head, right? So it's all about really creating something that resonates with your audience. And so this prompt that we've got that I'm showing you right here on the screen, it is going to get you 80% of the way there. You just have to fill out the pink parts, which is who are we talking about? Where are they? What does it look like around them? What are the different things you'd like to have in the background? What is the emotion that's going on there? What are they actually doing in this image? And this kind of thing, so that you can actually feel that is what the image is that you actually want to come up with.
So Tyrese, we do have some questions in the chat. Would you like to hold off on those?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so Jeff Keurig, I don't know if he got his question answered from Chris Lannon, but he was asking, are these images rights free?
Are these images?
Are these image rights free?
Oh, yeah. I believe they are. These are commercially viable. Yep, they're the way that Ideogram, from my understanding, the way that Ideogram has programmed itself, every time it creates something, it's creating something that is unique and different. It's not going to plagiarize from another artist or anything like that, as far as I know. So it's all dependent on how you have created the prompt and what you want it to say.
Jeff, I don't know if you want to come on, Mike. Does that answer your question, Jeff? Okay, we'll move on. So someone else was asking, are you limited to free versions of any AI? From Elmer. Elmer Bean is asking that.
Are we limited to any?
It says here, you are so limited in the free versions of any AI. Oh, I think his comment is basically using the free version of this versus the paid version.
Oh no, the free version of this is actually really quite good. The
Yeah,
only reason I'm using the paid version is because I'm creating a lot more images than most, and so I run out of credits very quickly. And I also want the ability to tweak this, that, and the other thing because I can get really quite picky about stuff. So that's the only reason I have the paid. But the free version of Ideogram is fantastic. It really is.
I use the free version, and the only constraint I see is you can only generate so many images per day. You get a certain amount of credits.
That's right. That's right. But even then, I think that you still are getting quite a few more than if you would using any other
Correct.
output that you get right from the first iteration. It's really quite good.
Yeah, and the other limitation I see is the download. The two different options, I think it's 720 versus 1080.
That's right. That's
Free
right.
version, you get the
In
one
the
up.
paid version, you get the the 1080. That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct.
The lay is asking, is it possible to add animation?
On ideogram, no. I believe you have to. Now that's a Chris Lannon question. He uses animation in there.
Yeah.
Maybe he can pop in for a second and answer.
Yeah. Kriya AI, I put that in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's right.
You
Yeah,
can create images and you can animate them. And there's other ways to do it too, but Kriya is the easiest one.
that's right. Yeah. This one is strictly just images.
And does anyone else have any questions?
I was asking how this particular good prompt was created, the one that was on the screen earlier, the one that had all the good detail.
This one here?
Yeah, was this a reverse engineer from ChatGPT?
Yeah, so in chat, okay, so let's see. Let's pretend I don't have anything. Okay. Okay, Curtis, tell me what you want to create.
Oh, you want me to create
What?
a use case? Oh, now I'm on the spot. Usually I'm okay with that, but all right. So I want
Something
to,
simple.
yeah, no, I'll give you, I want to, I want to talk to a mother of a family that has two children and wants to create a healthy home environment for them. What setting might be good for um, creating a picture of what that might look like? And something like that, I would have actually probably talked it into the phone and just sent it up, just so you know.
Okay, so then would you help me complete the sentence? I would like to create an image of a healthy home.
That would appeal to a mother of two who's health conscious and concerned about their home environment.
Just and
Sure, David is good. That's a good one too.
what? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see the.
But
Uh,
that's okay. Um, I think that one though is good for now.
that's good,
David
right?
has a good insight. I actually have a whole different ICP for that scenario, but thank you.
Oh, I spelled conscious wrong. Okay, sorry,
Now,
but
then just forget it.
yes, it's getting
know,
its idea.
oh, this is cool. So you're going to create an image and then you're going to take this over to, I think what Chris was
Now
saying.
here's where this is when another hack that I like to do is that if I really like this image, but the colors are wrong, or I want the children to be older, let's say, or I want there to be fewer bowls of fruit hanging out because there's what, like seven bowls all over the
Yeah. Yeah, I just
so
saw
I
that. Yeah, it's a little
here
bit over the top, and there's
I
enough plants in there to start of the plant. I forgot what they call them, but
So,
keep going.
so in order to tweak this, what I want to say to chat is, okay, so you can say, chat, love this. Please generate the detailed prompt for this image that I can use in ideogram.
Hmm.
And there it is.
Hmm. Okay, beautiful. You see, that's what I was getting at.
So
So,
you don't have to bend your mind backwards trying to figure out, okay, what
mm-hmm.
what's what? But here's where now you see it's like I say, bright, cozy room. Okay, so now abundant natural light. Yes, we like that. And then organic food bowls, a bowl of fresh fruit. Okay, let's see what ideogram does with this.
Cool.
Okay, so you come over here, take that out, that here.
Nice.
Now let's see what that
That's the
does.
secret sauce, Therese. Now I give you 5 stars.
Thank you,
You were
appreciate.
only going to get 3 before. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, it's hard to teach about images because images really, it's like describing a dream,
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
you
We're just
know?
busting your chops. Don't want you to have too much fun here, though.
Oh, now you see, now ideogram turned around and it made it so that I have my one bowls versus 1,000 bowls. But I'm wondering, what is this thing in the middle? I don't know.
Looks like a drum.
Yeah, of some sort. Now, I like this set of four. That's nice.
That's the truth, Kim.
But I don't like the faces here. You see, the faces are all kind of mangled up, right? The
Right.
faces are not good because now in my prompt, in my prompt back here, if we actually want hold on, where did I put my, oh, you know what, I actually forgot to do this. I forgot to copy this and put it into the chat. Hold on. Now how do I get to the chat without not sharing? Here go. Here's a link to a, a shortcut that I created. It looks like this, and it gives you the tips on what to do with your hands, with misshapen hands, misshapen branding, all that kind of stuff is all in this one particular document that I created. So if the faces are blurry or distorted, the fix is to determine define the number of people, and specify clear and well-defined facial features. So in this prompt right here, for example, we see that the faces are not all that great, right? So what we can do is go to okay, going straight here now. Well, define, literally going to copy this and put it.
Hmm.
Mother's wow, my God, that's like a run-on sentence. Okay.
Quiet. Not you, my dog.
See
Sorry, Therese.
what it does. Sorry, Curtis?
I said sorry about that. I was telling my dog to be quiet, and then I realized.
So otherwise, this picture, we can still take all kinds of details in here, and we can make this so that it's the evening. We can make it so that it's lunchtime. We can make it so that it's all different. Still not happy with this. It's kind of strange what it's done to the poor kid's face. Oh, this is much better. But then mom looks kind of strange. But you see what I'm saying is with this, it's really sometimes hit or miss. And the other thing that you can do is you can play around with whether you want it to be a photo, and sometimes that might fix it, as opposed to just an illustration. So that might be something to consider. Have you used Ideogram before, Curtis?
Yeah, I think I have, and but I think what's more important than everything is kind of the process you're going through. So kind of what came to me is like figure out who you're talking to. So what's your ICP, or alternatively, you know, get that narrative, put it in Chat GPT, let it do a dolly image, take that image, throw it over here, or actually have that analyzed and then have it create a text, put it over in a tool, let the tool do the work. I think that was your secret sauce. Um, and that was good. So yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely answered the question. This was really good.
and actually not having a close-up of these three is really what fixes this. So
And then Chris said something about reverse engineering something. So that was, I guess I could look at that later.
what's that?
He was talking about reverse engineering something, but I think that might be out of context. So I'll just table that comment.
So Tyrese, Vijay was also asking, can you make cartoon figures?
Oh, sure.
Wanted to show maybe that option.
Okay. Does somebody want to come in and say what they want?
Tyrese, go ahead and click on the link I just dropped in the chat. It's the most current link. It's actually a cartoon prompt inside the prompt vault. It's a good
Oh,
starting point. And then you can mess with
Okay.
it if you want to take it back to Ideogram.
Perfect.
Oh, we have a,
Here we are.
I recognize that voice. Who was that?
Segovia, why don't you tell me what you'd like in here?
Oh, I'll just let you hit the autofill and you can change out the top famous historical figure. I think somebody was asking earlier about a political figure with a kind demeanor, if you want to go with that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Political figure with a kind demeanor.
Famous, yeah, just swap out the first box.
I mean, you can make it Albert Einstein with a kind demeanor. Yeah, the prompt vault is really quite amazing. You can do so many different things with it. There's a lot of stuff in here, and you can be in here for days just playing with all the different prompts. It's pretty amazing what we've created here. I like that. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see if I take this guy right here and stick him into ideogram, what happens? Okay. And different, it's interesting that different image generators will take the same exact prompt and give you completely different things. There we are. Oh, I like him. He looks nice.
So I'll just throw in a pro tip. This is Segovia again. Yeah, so one of the things, I don't know if I was sort of tuned out in the background here, but one of the things that Ideogram is most known for. So in the prompt vault, you're using, we are plugged into DALL-E, right? So you can go to ChatGPT, you can generate an image. I watched you generate an image, and then you took that and you went and popped it over to Ideogram. Ideogram is known as one of the hotter, more sophisticated tools for getting text to be accurate. So if you try and put something in DALL-E, and results may vary, but if you want your logo, you see us in our social media channels always putting like in the Times Square, you've got all the busy traffic and there's a billboard up there, in the central famous New York Times Square, and we want chief AI officer spelled out with a bunch of words in a headline or something like that. Most of the models will struggled to catch up, but ideogram has been leading the field in getting the text accurate and not like misspelling words or adding weird characters that don't even look like they're like part of the alphabet. So that's just one way that ideogram tends to excel as compared to some of the other tools. Now that's just what it has been over the last couple of months, but tomorrow, it could change and another model will take on, and they're all going to be able to put text. But if you wanted to change that blackboard that Einstein is holding and say, instead of like some random numbers, you want it to say E equals MC squared, or you want to say, your domain or your website or your famous quote, then that could be something ideogram would really help with.
Humorous equations. Now squared. I might have to just see what it does. But yeah, it is fun. This is a lot of fun to play around and see all the different things that you can do. And definitely the prompt vault has a lot of different things that you can have access to. So it's quite
Click on
good.
all prompts for me.
All prompts.
Yeah, it's on the little tab there. You're on featured tab, switch over 4 over to the right.
So, oh, sorry. Where am
Yeah,
I?
so you're on featured, switch over to the right next to public. It says all prompts.
Next to public. Oh, I see. Got it.
And then go with the drop down filter under models and switch it to like DALL-E as an example.
Okay.
So here's like all the different image stuff.
Cool.
I think there was one, there's like a black and white one, like that black and white character illustration is kind of interesting. Somebody who's looking for cartoons. Go ahead and click on the one on the bottom left.
Bottom left. Oh, this one.
So this would be a good starter prompt if you're trying to do caricatures of a famous, political person. You could just, autofill that and just run it if you want to. Of course, you can modify all of these. Like you can change out the words and just keep regenerating them. You do use more credits in Prompt Vault based on image usage than you would if you were, using something but that's based on text. But that's a pretty nice looking image, and obviously you can modify things.
Beautiful.
And I sent you a DM. I don't know if you want to go there or not.
You sent me a DM? Oh, where?
It was in Zoom. It was related to, somebody had asked about the other tool, Kriya.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What about Kriya?
If you wanted to poke that open, I had a direct link for you.
Oh, now that, yeah, I gotta say that's definitely a Chris Lennon thing. I haven't played with Kriya that much.
Sure.
But he does, I want to say that Chris does have a video probably on YouTube, Chris Lannon. So if you go Chris Lannon, Lannon, you'll be able to find a video on that for sure.
I believe we have a smart cut on that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I recently stumbled on that one.
Let's see. Yeah.
Quick question. Hey, good to see you, or at least hear your voice, Segovia.
Oh, there it is. There's the Korea AI generation image generator.
Oh, wow. Can this create a, like, remember the old, I mean, like Dilbert or Far Side? Remember those caricatures? Remember those?
Yeah.
Sure you do. Can this do something of similar nature, or would you need to go like a chat GPT or something and say, find something like that to create, say, your own little type of, I guess you might call it brand, so to speak?
So here's what I would do. Like if you even, let's just say you happen to have one of those coffee table like versions of those old style comics, you could take a screenshot or snap a shot with your phone, upload, if you're using ChatGPT mobile, upload that to and say, here, describe this image. It's obviously going to be mostly black and white, simple lines. Describe this image so I could recreate a similar cartoon style image. And then it'll give you the descriptors, and then you can work with that, which is not that far off from that black and white one that she shared a minute ago in terms of how we built that prompt. Is like looking at how do you get something to be in a specific pencil style, and whether it's more shaded or it's more like thick lines, and how the styles work. I mean, that would just be the preference of which style you're going after, and then say, this is what I want the caption to be. Or you can have AI come up with, like, make me a satire or some kind of like a pun, like, with a 2-line commentary between some bubble notes. I would say you might get good results with one model to get the image right, and you would want to layer in, if you're trying to do the actual like bubble comments in the comic strip style, using something like Ideogram, or even just use Canva to drop those little comment bubbles in after the fact.
Piece of cake. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great job, Therese. Really good session.
I want to say that yeah, there's all kinds of different things that really, it's all about just context. If you want to create really a good image, it's all about context. And I think that the context that you want to give it is basically the ideal client, who that person is, so that the image resonates with them. You want to give your brand colors, like I said to you before, in ChatGPT, so that you can have it in a project and just have it live there, so that every time you take that image and you reverse engineer it to give you that prompt that I showed you earlier, it's always going to take into consideration who it is that you are aiming for. And that's how I believe the images will land with your market.
Thank you, Tyrese. Does anyone else have any questions, thoughts they want to add? Okay. So thank you everyone for coming today. I did put a couple of links in the chat. We have our Chief AI Insider link, where you have access to our portal, which I showed earlier, and that is going to give you a 14-day free trial. We also have every week now, every Tuesday and Wednesday, we have Using AI at Work Challenge, which is absolutely free, and you're welcome to come. And it's every Tuesday and Wednesday, and we go over AI tools that you can start using immediately in your day-to-day routine. And that's put on by Chris and Segovia. And I did go ahead and put a link in there as well. Our Using AI at Work Challenge. I believe it starts at, 3 o'clock Eastern time on both Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we also have our Chief AI Officer certification program, where once you go through the Using AI at Work Challenge, if you choose to take a peek at our your certification. We have that as well. And we have an affiliate link, which I put in the chat. So if you want to start earning towards that certification program, you can certainly do that by signing up for our affiliate program. And that is about all I have. If anyone else wants to add anything, any of our chief AI officers or Segovia just got on the camera. So if he wants to add anything, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just drop a mention. Tomorrow, we actually have a special guest. It's sort of an unannounced surprise, but we'll have somebody else doing the challenge and coming on. So if you're not familiar with Adam, and I won't let you Google his name, so you know how many Adams are there. But if you've been to any of our challenges, I know there's a lot of people that'll go to like the challenge, you know, 1 or 2 times, and they'll, you know, decide they want to throw their lot in on AI, go all in, and actually become certified. And then I see, like, even Sherry, like there's a lot of people that'll come back to the challenge and they'll get a lot of value, because once you know AI, then it's like, how do I teach this stuff? So we've got a really exciting event planned for tomorrow and Wednesday. We're going to be building, I don't know if he'll actually do a custom GPT on the fly, but he's got some stuff he's going to get into around some custom GPTs and looking at like your profile on LinkedIn and things of that nature. So very exciting stuff. If you've already attended the challenge, this one will be completely different from anything we've done before. So yeah, 3 p.m. or 12 noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Just head over to chiefofficer.com/challenge or hit the link that was posted in the chat. And with that, I thank you both, Tyrese and Sherry. You guys did a marvelous job. I know a little bit more about ideogram and some of your tips. So hopefully you guys got a lot of value. And any other questions, we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, I just wanted to know I can't attend the actual challenge this week. Is there a replay, Segovia?
Yeah, so the challenge, we always do a replay. Our standard formula would be the replays are up until Sunday night at midnight. That may change in the future where they'll have a shorter time frame, like ending on Friday or 24 hours. But for now, until further notice, we'll keep them up until the end of the week. And the reason we don't keep them up there evergreen is simply because AI is an ever evolving thing, and you wouldn't necessarily want to be watching a challenge from October. So that way, as the pace of AI evolves, so does the content.
Can I just
Great,
say one
thanks.
thing about Chief AI Officer?
Please.
I have to say this is a really, okay, I am already a certified Chief AI Officer, and thanks to this community, but I also want to say that it's not just about learning how to use a tool. It's about how to think about how to use the tool. If you don't get out of your headspace, and because every shiny object is going to drive you in a different direction. But the Chief AI Officer certification really taught me that it's how you think in AI that makes all the difference. When you start thinking about how it can take you to the next level, that's how you're going to change how you use a tool. It's like, for example, for me using my projects in ChatGPT to then upload all the client information and the brand colors and all of that, so that then I can create a really robust image that goes with my social media. That wasn't something that someone told me somewhere. It was something that came because I understood how we can actually use AI to make things better. And so that is the reason to take this certification, if anything. And it's not just to learn about all the different tools, but how to actually think about how each tool can be used in the future.
Well said.
Yeah, and also our groups, when we meet every day of the week, we're learning from each other. And there's so much domain expertise that everyone brings to the table, and we're learning from every one of them, and they just pour into it. So it's really a fantastic community. I can't say enough about it.
Thank you, Segovia. I appreciate you. And
Yes,
Sherry,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
And everybody else in the community.
All right. Well, if that's it, I guess that's it for today. And we'll see all of our insiders on the governance call today. And if not, you have a fantastic week, and hopefully we'll see you again or on the AI challenge.
When is the government's call? I haven't got the time.
That's
Is-
in 3 hours from now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Check the events calendar on in your Chief AI. There's a calendar of all the events with the different days and times, and they all
Yeah,
have.
I'll do that.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Sherry.
everyone.
Thanks,
Okay.
Agovia. See you.